Here's the Swan 500C that I converted to 7854 finals. So as some of you following my channel know, I've never gotten any decent output out of this thing. Well, anyway, I probably didn't have the finals biased right. The finals over in here, I think, have a greater need for a larger negative voltage to bias them. So I did add a 3K resistor here across the bias circuit, which goes through a choke to the grids of these tubes. Little 3K resistor right there. So here's the bias pot, basically a voltage divider. So at the other end, I just added something to ground. And so now I'm cruising around 27 volts, and I can change the bias voltage all the way down to about 13 volts, 12 volts minus, and up to 37 volts. And that seems pretty reasonable for these tubes. So at 27 volts, if I try and transmit with no drive, there's some bias right there. And if I crank this bias up to 36 volts, the bias voltage up to 36 volts minus 36, I don't see any current through the finals. There's about 500 mils right there, which I'm not sure if these want to be there, but that's about minus 27 volts. And if I crank it all the way down, yeah, I can draw some power. So if I crank it all the way down like to 17 volts or so, I can start cranking about 200 mils for the final. So just leave it there at 500 and see what happens. So now that the finals are biased, I'll see if I can get any power out of this thing now. In fact, I could probably try that now as I have a dummy load on this thing. Let's see what I can do with it. Dummy load's on, carrier's unbalanced, and I'm in the transmit position. If I crank the grid a bit here, oh, look at that, wow. Well, that made it a lot perkier, didn't it? Now, can I get the grid gone with this control? Yes, that's what I want to see. So that's working pretty ducky. Now, can I get any power out of this turkey? Let's see. It should give me some power. Playing with a plate, nothing. I'm not sure why. I'm giving it drive. Yet, it's got drive. It's just not loading up. Weird. Yet, when I go down here to tune, it will work. I'm almost afraid to do that. It kind of sparks too. Getting some power out, but no drive really. And okay, that must be harmonics coming out because it doesn't really change. So yeah, I can't really change the power coming out of it at all. So it's got some problems. I guess the bias is now correct. Let's turn it down some. There, be a little light in the bias. Cooking the finals and give it some grid here. So I can perk it up the grid. It's weird. It's like it seems right that way. Okay, now I'm getting some power out a little bit. kind of jumping some power out here and there. It's almost like there's an ALC circuit in here busting me or something. But I still can't really resonate on this thing. I can't get any real power out of it. Very strange. Okay. I have an antenna on here, right? I thought I did. Yeah, I do. Go to the watt meter. What about 80 meters? Oh, that thing dips down. That's weird. Okay, that means the S meter is out of calibration. Way out of calibration. All right, so 80 meters. If I go back to 40, it's normal for the S meter anyway. Now I try and transmit on 80 meters. It's showing grid. It's got some grid. A little bit of plate. Got some dip here. Got some power coming out, but it's not stable. On tune. Power coming out, but not stable. Can't seem to tune it. That almost means I have some kind of wide spectrum junk coming out of this thing. I don't know. Well, at least the bias is working, so no grid. Got about 500 mils bias now. So at least that's working. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great day.